The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by Kessler Prime. For the best steaks in Mississippi, visit Kessler Prime in the Renaissance.
It's Jackson.
You ready?
Let's go!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now live in the Bank Plus studio, where college football meets the all lifestyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
The Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds, streaming around the world live at the Out of Bounds radio app and on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
Where Are You?
The Zone.
Oh, man. Jeff Jones in the house. Award-winning pitmaster and award-winning rubs and sauces. You can go to jonesyq.com. That's jonesyq.com. Order any of the rubs or sauces. Promo code OOBShow. We'll pay for the shipping $20 or more. All right? Ecstasy, Money Honey, Cow Pal, Love Rub, among many others. Jeff Jones is cooking elk burgers downstairs on the Gourmet Guru Grill. He made some homemade potato chips with ecstasy rub. That's his multi-purpose seasoning, although I would also argue that Love Rub is a little bit of that too. And the burgers look great. He just slapped some bacon on there. Holy smokes. Anybody that's walking into Beagle Bagel, their feelings are going to be hurt. And, of course, all of this is also brought to you by Modelo, the beer of choice on the Out of Bounds show. Modelo Especial, fantastic beer, and Modelo Negra,
Yes, sir.
phenomenal beer. Both are great. We're so excited to have Modelo with us for the next 8 months or 9, whatever's left in the calendar year. Hopefully it goes over into 2022. But National Burrito Day has to be brought to you by Modelo. Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Hey, it's game day tonight, Duty Noble Field. And so pregame and postgame, Two Brothers smoked meats. Wings, street tacos, sliders, drinks. Two Brothers, new buildings, amazing. Balconies, outside areas everywhere. Two Brothers in the historic Cotton District. Also want to give a shout-out to Welcome Home Beef. Blake's going to do a beef tenderloin tonight from Welcome Home Beef. I just shipped 4 fillets and 2 ribeyes to Tom Luganville. He was a happy camper.
Not to me.
No.
Tough.
But I'm going to hook you up.
Yeah, I got to fight for what I can get.
With some
I'm
steaks.
scrapping. I did pick up. I got to cook those.
Would you describe yourself as scrappy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a fighter.
I mean,
listen. See, it's deceptive. I'm one of those guys where I get off the bus and you go, oh, that guy can't throw cheese. He's got no arm strength. Like I'm gonna smash home runs off this guy, and then I'm throwing like ephus pitches and air bending changeups and everything's 65 miles an hour, but you can't touch it.
Air bending, kind of like what I threw at the Embrace.
That's right. That's a new. So that's a new pitch in Major League Baseball. Did you know?
Let me write that down.
It's called the air bender.
Air bender.
It's. I'm serious. This is a coined phrase from Pitching Ninja, who's fantastic.
Funny.
Rob Freeman. He is amazing. So pitching.
Isn't he out of Cincinnati?
I'd have to look. He's
I
a big
wonder if
Yankees fan,
Jeff
so I thought he was
Brantley
up there.
knows him. Okay.
I thought he was in New York, but I could be wrong. He's a huge Yankees guy.
Is he? I want to say the Pitching Ninja is out of Cincinnati,
That might be
Ohio.
right. That might be
but
right.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to look. I'm working on getting us an interview with him through some people who know him.
Sweet.
So, but it's this new changeup called the Airbender, and it's like a different way you grip it, and it is electric in terms of what it looks like. It is impossible to hit.
Really?
So, yeah.
So
that's the new
basically,
thing.
I started this a couple of years ago.
That's right.
When I threw out the first pitch, since I'm a lefty.
I would say that's probably
I
accurate.
mean, did you see how much my ball broke? I mean, it was like falling off a table.
Yeah. It was It was electrifying.
And the M Braves catcher didn't have to move.
Yeah.
Literally, he didn't move his glove. That's it.
It's electric.
Well, that's talent. But ice water in the veins, whatever.
So let me ask you this. Let's just go ahead and get right to it. We have Ole Miss taking on Florida in Gainesville. That's a top 5 matchup. We've got Mississippi State hosting Kentucky. That's a.
Did you see where O'Sullivan's benching two of their starters?
Yeah, Tommy Mace and Leftwich. But here, hold on. I think that's a little misleading.
Tell me what's happening.
I think he's going with this new age analytical approach of what they call the opener. Have you seen that? So it's an inverse way of pitching. It's throwing a guy who specializes in high intensity, high leverage. You throw him for the first inning or two, and then you bring your starter in.
Interesting.
This is not the first.
Could you do that with Sarantola?
Well, that's the question. The question is, could Sarantola, does he need the inning to get ready, or is it the first inning, right? Like, if you bring him in the third, is he still going to struggle in the third inning because it's the first inning he pitches? Or is it truly a mental aspect of if you start him, he can't pitch well, but if you bring him off the pen, he could? I don't know.
He'll probably be starting for the Washington Nationals 4 years from now.
Throwing
and
like
it'll just make
104.
Mississippi State fans want to puke. And I'm sure Lamonis and Foxhall are, beating their head against the wall because they know how talented he is. Cole Gordon caught a bullpen from him.
He's incredible.
And said that it was filthy.
Yes.
His stuff was nasty.
Yeah. You see him throw a pitch every now and then in the game where you go, holy cow, that's Major League stuff.
Yeah.
But
my daughter was sitting with me and she asked me what was wrong with him.
She told her that's
she was being very. She would
question.
never even take a shot at a player. Okay, so she was just confused. She was like,
"Why?"
She loves baseball, which is awesome for me. Okay, but she just very casually looked over at me. She went, What's wrong with that guy?"
Well,
I was like, I didn't know what else to say other than he's got control problems.
Is there a more mental?
He's got control issues. He can't throw a strike.
Is there a more mentally taxing sport or position than being the pitcher in baseball?
No.
It is the single most spotlighted position in all of sports,
because
right?
we've talked about this. Baseball is so funky. You're out there by
yourself. You're the only
You may
thing.
as well be on an island.
Yep.
I don't care how close the first baseman is to you. Second, short, third. Dude, you pitched, I pitched, lower. I mean, dude, even then, when you're out there,
it's you and nobody else.
Dude, you feel like you are a million miles. I don't care how close your manager is, your catcher, whatever. And so, dude, when things start getting bad, I mean, look, I gave up an enormous amount of runs in an all-star game my 9th grade year, okay? And I got brought in to pitch, and it was pitiful.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, it was one of those things that I just couldn't get it right.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there going, what in the hell is going on?
There may not be an individual activity more difficult than the two things you do in baseball. Pitch a baseball and hit a baseball.
Right.
I don't know if there's a more difficult single thing to do in an athletic event.
I couldn't agree with you more. It is extremely difficult. And in our league on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, when you get the ball, dude, you can feel it in the ball. You can feel it in Swayze. You can feel it in Duty Noble, in Alex Box, whatever.
Let me tell you something. The intensity tonight in Duty Noble and the anxiety is going to be high.
Yeah, and you lost this mega alpha leader in Mangum, and you didn't really play last year. And it's going to be interesting because this is not an excuse, but there's a lot of pressure playing at Duty Noble. And you're right. They really haven't faced adversity in a long time. I say that. Going out to Texas and winning wasn't easy. Going down to Alex Box wasn't easy. I don't want to take away.
They took 2 for
They're
Texas
capable,
Tech last year at the end of the season. They were reeling, and they took 2
But
from
you
Tech.
know what I mean. You're 0-3. Your in-state rivals 6-0. I mean, 0-3 last weekend. There's a lot going on. There will be an edge of your seat feel tonight.
Correct.
And for McLeod, he'll know it. He'll feel it. He's not dumb. And, I don't know who the guy's going to be. If it's going to be it seems to me that Tanner Allen is starting to
step into
that role, maybe. But it's extremely difficult, man.
Yeah.
The shadow of Mangum is not something to take lightly. And I mean that as a compliment to Jake.
Yeah.
Okay?
100%.
But,
and I think I'd argue that shadow may extend a little.
I mean, when Eli Manning and Dak Prescott left the building, what happened?
But I'd argue that shadow extends to the coaching staff, too, though.
Yeah. But, so I think you're on to something. I think that you'll be able to cut the pressure and the tension, with a very dull spoon tonight at Duty Noble Field. The Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. Jeff Jones is in the house. Jonesy Q, cooking elk burgers. Hang with us. The Out of Bounds podcast is brought to you by the delicious Philly cheesesteak sandwich and cheeseburgers at Roosevelt's at Live Oaks Golf Club. I like where you just went there with Drew Brees' influence in the building, his intangibles, how they were infectious, just his presence made a franchise that had not really won feel like that they belonged and could win. Do you do a deep dive into that, Jeff, your book?
Told me this story, an anecdote about how when they go to put the game plan together on Monday nights and Tuesdays for an upcoming opponent, he said they may have a running play they want to run. Let's just hypothetically say the Falcons are getting ready to play. And he said they were going to put this run in that they would think will be successful against the Falcons. And looking at tape of the Falcons defense, when they normally defend this type of will go into, depending on the personnel package the opponent uses and the formation. And he said there might be an answer in our offensive game plan for 39 of those 40 looks. He said, but there might be one look that if they get it, walk the free safety in this thing and personnel package, that they kind of got us outflanked. And he said most teams would just say, you know what, that's a 1 in 40 chance that that's going to happen. We'll just run the ball into that bad look, and we might not gain anything. We might lose a yard. We might gain a yard, whatever. He said, with Drew Brees as your quarterback, you have to have an answer for that 1 in 40 chance.
Wow.
And he said they will spend an hour in that offensive meeting room coming up with an answer for that 1 in 40 chance that they might even run the play. And if they do run it, it probably won't even get that look. But that's the standard of excellence that he drives everyone else in the building. And that is what I think they're going to miss.
I love that stuff. That story, right? That is incredible, Jeff.
Yeah.
I mean,
it just shows you the level of work they put in a game plan with Drew Brees as their quarterback.
Wow. I wonder how much of that Jameis Winston picked up on in the last.
It sounds like a lot. It just hearing him talk, it sounds like a lot, but let's see if it comes to fruition.
Okay. All right, Jeff Duncan, new book, Payton and Brees, the men who built the greatest offense in NFL history. He's with the Athletic Saints Insider. He joins us on the Modelo guest line. Jeff, how long have you covered the Saints?
21 years and a long time, Bo. You're dating me.
Okay, so 21 years. So you got to see some bad offensive football. Now, let's talk about Payton and Brees and their relationship. We see what's happened in Seattle, Jeff. There looks like a disconnect between a defensive-minded coach, a good one, but a defensive-minded coach and Russell Wilson. Packers have always, I don't know, the Rodgers-Packers front office thing, head coach, Brady and Belichick, it didn't end well. Deshaun's frustrated. Obviously, they have other things going on, but he's frustrated. You can't ever really figure out if Gruden will get in bed, so to speak, with the QB, right? I mean, he kind of dances with Carr, whatever. How, the pressure having covered this franchise for 21 years. You see it weekly. You know the pressure in the building for an NFL franchise, how hard it is to win. Talk about how remarkable it is that they were able to stay on the same page for that long, Brees and Payton, for that long, considering the pressure in the NFL to win on Sundays.
Well, I think it's remarkable. We've never seen anything like that in NFL history. A quarterback and head coach together for a decade and a half and being that successful. And Bo, I interviewed a lot of people, including Payton and Brees, a lot for the book, and asked them, many times, okay, this could not have been all kumbaya. There had to be times where you all butted heads. There had to be, some browbeating behind closed doors, and they insisted they never had that. I think it's because both of them were such good communicators. Sean Payton was a communication major in college. He's excellent at communicating. He believes in the Parcells school of conflict. You get it out on the table. You talk about it. You don't ever let it fester and develop into something. And Drew Brees is excellent at that way too. And I think also Drew Brees' greatest influence in his life was his grandfather, who was a decorated World War II veteran. Drew Brees very much believes in a military-style chain of command, and he respects that the coaching position, and that he's a player, and there's a line there. So as close as they got over the years, and as much as they respect each other, he always understood Sean Payton was the coach, I'm the quarterback, and I need to listen to him. And if it comes down to a debate, he's going to win. He's the coach. So I think that respect level from Drew was a key part of their success, because a lot of players, as we see now, are becoming more and more emboldened to kind of use their influence to make decisions that normally a coach or front office would. Drew Brees would never cross that line because of his upbringing.
Okay. Wow, it's fascinating. Jeff Duncan, new book, Payton and Brees, The Men Who Built the Greatest Offense in NFL History. Okay, so 90-something% of their relationship was really good. You mentioned the ability to communicate and get it all out. What did you get anything in the book when there are a lot of people, you know better than I do, and you may disagree, that Sean may have gotten a big head after the Super Bowl. And then there were some things that happened. He gets suspended for a year. 3 straight 7-9 seasons, Jeff, in the prime of Brees' career. Even through all that, were there some tough times, or were Brees and Payton still locked in? Do you hit on any of that in the book?
Oh, yes, I definitely do. I have a whole chapter on that period of time, that 2014 to 2016 period where the team was 7-9 each season, because I wanted to touch on what could have led to this potential divorce of this great marriage. And that period was a key one, because Sean Payton was almost out the door. He almost left the New Orleans Saints. I don't think people realize how close it was to him leaving, and that would have ended this partnership, historic partnership. We'd have missed a lot of these great moments because Sean Payton would not have been around for them. And look, Sean Payton will be the first to tell you he definitely kind of let his guard down. He exhaled in the pressure. You talk about being an NFL head coach. I think it's natural human nature to kind of, once you've reached the mountaintop, to relax. And he let a lot of details slip, a lot of things that he, believed in, he let slide. And I think there were some things going on in his personal life. He was going through a divorce off the field. I think all those things influenced him. And I think it would have led to him leaving New Orleans if it wasn't for Mickey Loomis, who, as the general manager, understood that Sean Payton is a great head coach. Yes, he can be high maintenance and difficult to deal with, especially behind closed doors. I don't think people realize that there's a lot of stories in the book, in that chapter, that I think will open people's eyes. They've not been reported about things that went on in the Saints organization. And if it wasn't for someone that was more selfless, that was as selfless and egoless as Mickey Loomis, I think Sean Payton would be coaching elsewhere as opposed to New Orleans, because it took someone like Loomis to step back and kind of smooth over that situation and realize we're not going to find a better coach than Sean Payton. Let's work through this. And it worked. It came out to the other side, and they stayed together. And they overhauled the defensive coaching staff. That was difficult to do for a head coach who's loyal to his assistants. They overhauled the personnel department, brought in Jeff Ireland.
Yes.
They had that historic draft in 2017 and built the core of another Super Bowl contender with that draft.
That is fascinating. Jeff Duncan on the Out of Bounds show, his new book, Payton and Brees, The Men Who Built the Greatest Offense in NFL History. The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by Boar's Head, premium meats, cheeses, and hummus. Boar's Head, compromise elsewhere.
Check this out, show live and direct.
From the Whiskey 61 Lounge, it's Mississippi's only food sports show on the airwaves. We're the only World Food Championship host in the state. This is the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
You know, we're about to eat some elk burgers. This may not be a good time for a vasectomy read. I don't know. Let me think about it for a second. Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Shout out, though, to Mississippi Urology. Great team down there in Jackson. Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, presented by the Y'all Lifestyle and our friend Jeff Hollywood Jones. From Cleveland, Mississippi, through Hattiesburg, Southern Miss to the top. Now, award-winning pitmaster and award-winning rubs and sauces with Jonesy Q. That's Jones YQ. You're the man. Thanks, Jeff Jones. JonesYQ.com, where you can go to order his rubs and sauces. If you order $20 or more, promo code OOBSHOW, OOBSHOW. We'll pay for the shipping. JonesyQ.com, JonesYQ.com, promo code OOBSHOW. If you missed any of that, Mississippi Ag text line, 601-885-3776. This looks amazing. Jeff Jones just cooked us some elk burgers with Jonesy Q. Well, I would think Cow Pal, and I know he put ecstasy on the homemade chips, and he'll tell us what else.
It looks amazing.
It does, man. You're not worthy, by the way.
You know how you know a burger's good? Is if it's got like a 4-inch lift on it naturally.
No kidding.
You know?
I'm from the Delta, so, you always want to put a lift on it.
That's right. That's classic.
That was pretty good. Well, shout out to Rick's Pro Truck on that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm nothing if not a professional.
You are a professional. All right, so we're having a good time. All right, there, bam.
So basically,
Jeff
what
Jones
you
in
can
the house.
what you can take from this is our weekend has started.
Yes, I just opened a Modelo. Here, Jeff, you got it, bro. I just opened a Modelo
Especial.
And, we may have opened one earlier. I can't say.
Who's to determine that?
And this elk burger's got all kinds of stuff on it that Jeff's going to tell us about because I'm about to smash it. It is a smash. Let's see, smash burger presented by Jonesy Q.
There you go.
Yeah. Cool. Man, this is so much fun. So excited.
You're getting
It's
paid
fun when you're getting fed.
I was being paid to do it.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, this is it's all fat free.
Because it is. Why did you say it's fat free?
It is slam full of fat and it's free.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well, man. How are you?
I'm good. You've been working.
Yeah, I mean, it's why not have a good burger at 9:30 in the morning?
Are you kidding me? I mean, now they're doing breakfast. This is a breakfast burger.
Yeah, we've got the
Compliments
breakfast beer of choices to go with it. So a little Negro Modelo, which is always good and refreshing.
Yes, it is.
So one Negro Modelo, one Modelo Especial. You got to try them both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got two hands for a reason.
I'll go get one in a minute. I was going to try not to go into the Modelo Negro because I was going to give it away as a case as a whole.
Ugh, give it away.
Yeah, that's what they wanted me to do.
It's too much. You say I give away too much. That's a whole case of beer.
If you're giving, I can take it away.
Yeah.
That's a giveaway.
Yes, you can. Jeff Jones in the house, JonesyQ.com. And, Jonesy Q, rubs and sauces, JonesyQ.com. And he made us elk burgers. Do you want to dive right in and kind of set up what all you've done and the process and everything?
Yeah, wild game is always...
And I'm taking a bite.
Go ahead. Okay. Wild game is always dry. So there's a couple of things you can do when you're grilling this at home to keep it moist. You want a good ratio. He's doing the Guy Fieri burger bite over here. The two hands.
The Guy
I
Fieri.
don't know if... this is serious. This is serious. All right, here we go.
Two things you can do. Add a little bit of fat to it. You can add some grind bacon up and put in there, but that'll take away from the flavor. Second thing you can do is add a little 80-20 or 85-15 ground chuck to it. What we did is we froze some unsalted butter that we grinded up and put inside of the beef, and that adds a little bit of moisture to it as you're cooking it. Not going to be as dry, so it should be a really juicy burger.
It is. Seriously, I just had a bite and I forgot that I was supposed to be doing radio again.
That
The
seems
other
to be a
thing is,
recurring.
we added a little bit of Wild Q to this. Always add a little bit. It gives you a nice little tang to it. Also adds a little bit of moisture. Season it with Love Rub and Cow Pal. And I've got this on a nice little butter lettuce, tomato. And of course, we had boar's head cheese. And this is a stuffed burger, by the way. So it's pepper jack cheese and bacon stuffed inside. One of the concepts I think that everybody goes wrong on a stuffed burger is they want to overstuff the burger. So as you're cooking it, it oozes all out of your burger and onto your grill, so you don't really get it. So, be generous with it, and then also make sure you pack the edges, tight down so it's not going to leak out. And cook them slow. You want to cook these burgers, you'd like to cook them about 325. Get a nice char on them. When you flip your burger over, you only want to flip it once. When you flip it, cut the temp down, let it do its thing, let it rest and cook. You want to get it to around 160. Mm-hmm. So I'll probably pull my burgers about 152, 153, wrap them in full, let them rest a good 5 minutes, carry over to 160. Don't forget to toast your buns. We like toasted buns.
Toasted
it's getting summertime,
buns.
right?
Got to.
Hashtag toasted buns from Jonesy Q. And second thing we did, we added a little bit of chipotle aioli to that to give it a little bit of kick.
I felt the kick with the wow.
A little bit of mustard. Oh, yeah, the wow's great on burgers.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law became famous. That's all he does. He really doesn't season his meat too much. He just puts the Wild Q in it and says, that's all I need. So shout out to my brother-in-law, Kenny Morgan, on that one.
Jeff Jones in the house. I've had a couple of bites of this monster elk burger by Jeff Jones and Jonesy Q, and it is nothing short of delicious. Blake, have you had a bite?
I have not yet.
Okay.
Trying to work. I will eat one here in just a second. I do want to ask you this question, though.
All right, I'm taking another one.
Yeah, you're good. So you said something that I think the amateur cook or griller or whatever doesn't understand, and I see this a lot with steaks too. Burgers is one, but steaks is another one too. There is such a thing as overcooking, and I don't mean temperature. I mean messing with that sucker way too much.
Yeah, a good burger, if your temperature is right on your grill, always scrape your grill grates, whatever you're using. You can spray it down with, Pam, put butter on it, olive oil. Get a nice clean surface that's not going to stick. Put your burger down, let it sit there. You flip it one time, good to go. Get you invest in a good thermopin. Temp your meat. That'll keep you from guessing and flipping, well, is it done or not? And you don't want to have to worry about flipping it too much, because if your burger sticks to your grill, you've got issues. Then half your burger's on the grill, and it doesn't really look that good. It might taste good, but,
All right, I don't want to take away from this y'all lifestyle news, but I do have breaking news
from North Carolina
in the ESPN
Go ahead.
front. Yeah, just announced.
All right, hang on. Let's reset real quick. Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Jeff Jones in the house, award-winning pitmaster, and his rubs and sauces are on jonesyq.com. If you order $20 or more, we'll pay for the shipping. Promo code OOB Show. Jonesy Q is JonesYQ.com. Blake, tell us what's going on in North Carolina.
North Carolina basketball coach Roy Williams officially announces his retirement today. 903 career wins.
Mm-hmm.
One of the stalwarts of college basketball, and now hanging it up.
Great coach, great legend, man. I've grown up watching him coach.
Yeah,
he's
That's
been a
saying
legend
something because you're old.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of growing up.
Yeah, just had the birthday a couple weeks ago.
Happy birthday.
Happy
appreciate
birthday.
it.
Oh, I sent you a birthday.
When's
deal.
the AARP sending you your car?
Oh, good grief. He's having fun with this. Hey, real quick on Roy Williams. He was an assistant under Dean Smith, and he was an assistant when Michael Jordan was there.
Isn't that crazy?
He then took the Kansas job and never could get over the hump. Very successful. And then goes to North Carolina and rips off 3 in a pretty short period of time.
Yeah. 33 seasons as a head basketball coach.
Is that it?
Yeah. Well, is that it? It's only 3
is that
decades.
right?
Yeah. 33 seasons, 3 national titles, all at North Carolina, obviously.
Yeah, he's a heck of a coach. Again, Dean Smith, then Kansas. And by the way, the last time this happened, Blake and Jeff, Blake Scott, Jeff Jones on the Out of Bounds show, it caused one of the biggest domino effects in the history of collegiate sports. Because when Roy jumped from a blue blood to another blue blood,
which doesn't happen,
then Kansas opened, then Illinois opened, then it was unbelievable.
Where does this rank in terms of collegiate basketball jobs?
It's either 1, 2, or 3.
Give them to
North
me.
Carolina, Duke, Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kentucky's got to be one for one sole reason, right? Ease of access. You don't play North Carolina and Duke. Like, if you're Duke or North Carolina, you play the other one.
I think there is something to that, as much as we give Dabo a hard time on path of least resistance.
Calipari's slept walk to the
that's a great point. We've had our years, but we're not a basketball conference. No. So
interesting. Roy Williams. So that's a big. I mean, we don't do a lot of college basketball coaching search, obviously, because it's not as big a deal.
But this is huge.
This is like LSU, Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, Oklahoma opening up in football.
Well, it's bigger than Clemson and Oklahoma.
Well,
but yeah, you're right.
Although now I think, though, if Clemson and Oklahoma open up in football, that's a pretty big. At this point now, I agree with you though. North Carolina basketball is definitely bigger than those two in football. I don't agree. I don't disagree with that.
Wow, he's you said 32 years between Kansas
33.
and North Carolina.
33. Yep, 3 national titles.
He's 70 years old. He's a North Carolina grad. Okay.
By comparison, Nick Saban, 69 years old, still kicking.
Yeah.
In the coaching
Roy's
profession.
had, I think, 2 knee replacement surgeries and maybe 2 hip replacement surgeries. Big runner for years, but body kind of fell apart the last few years.
903 victories and 3 national championships in 33 seasons as head coach in Kansas at UNC in Kansas. He reached 6 title games, went 3-3, 9 Final Fours,
no kidding,
13 Elite Eights, and won 25 regular season or tournament conference championships.
I see here, runner up, 02-03 at Kansas.
His 903 victories is 11th in D1 history and 4th among active coaches, behind only Krzyzewski at Duke, Boeheim at Syracuse, and Jim Calhoun, formerly of UConn.
Damn. What a coach, man.
774 win percentage is the highest with any coach over 900 victories all time.
That's
78. He won 78% almost of his games. And he won a conference or tournament championship in 25 of 33 seasons. Think about that.
Well, he owned the Big 12.
Owned it.
Yeah.
And then really, I mean, it was him and Duke for almost year in and year out in the ACC as well.
When he went to Kansas, were they the something else? Big 8.
Big 8.
Yeah, they went to the Big 12 in 96. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so there you go. Roy Williams, a legend. I mean, definitely one of the even non-basketball fans can name Roy. You know what I mean? Like, just a casual college basketball tournament fan knows who Roy Williams is.
Sure. Again, he was in the Michael Jordan documentary.
Yeah. Which is crazy, yeah.
And he was part of the recruitment of Michael Jordan in North Carolina.
He's coached elite players for 33 seasons.
That was his first title as an assistant in 82 when they won it with Jordan.
So
who will it be?
Nate Oates?
He's hot right now.
They're going to pull from a Midwest, right? Got to.
For recruiting, yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying, for his recruiting part, but just because that's how this works. They don't pull from the South for basketball coaches.
I don't know. Nate Oates may get a look.
He's from Buffalo, so I guess in theory that would be Northeast.
But North Carolina goes anywhere. I mean, they can
true.
sign a kid out of L.A., New York, Miami.
Correct.
It doesn't matter.
I'm thinking more for like basketball pedigree of their coaching, like who they're going to. North Carolina is not hiring.
So they've stayed in the family
exactly
since Dean Smith. Dean handed it over to Guthridge or whatever Guthrie, and that didn't work out. And then they went and got another assistant in Roy Williams.
But think about that. What you just said. They've had 3 coaches in 50 years?
Yeah, because Dean was there 32 seasons.
So you've had 3 coaches in nearly half a century.
Yeah.
This is a not only a monumental hire, but this is something that doesn't ever happen.
And how many people will get in the way? This is going to be fascinating.
Oh,
will Roy get in the way? Will others,
Well, and this will be the first hire that they've made in basketball where booster culture is what it is today.
That's true.
It's been 2-3 decades.
See, it was a no-brainer to go get Roy. He was Dean Smith's assistant,
Yes.
the Michael Jordan
He was
side.
winning at Kansas
And he was,
still.
even though he hadn't
Yeah.
won it, he was winning big at Kansas.
Yep.
Now, a little
It's
bit
like, who
different
do you
deal.
go get? There's nobody in that tree that's
Well,
gonna, that's
that I
a
know of.
exactly that's an elite level head coach right now.
Right.
Could you go hire a young person? Sure, but is that what you're doing at North Carolina? Are you hiring? And God, fans are going to lose their mind. Are you hiring a McCray Pinson or a Moorhead? Someone unproven? You can't, right? You got to hire somebody that's like an elite blue blood coach already.
Ellis Johnson?
Hello.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you, Jeff.
Clear my throat on that. What'd you say?
Nothing.
Squirrel? I saw squirrel.
Jeff Jones, JonesyQ.com on the Out of Bounds Show. Award-winning rubs and sauces. And then, of course, competing as a pit master. And he'll be at Memphis in May, among other places. Well, he's going somewhere next week.
Atoka, Tennessee.
Atoka, Tennessee. Can I take another bite? And you
Yeah.
go? Okay.
Oh, it's a hour drive north of Memphis, so we're going to get our first comp of the year going in the Memphis Barbecue Network. Speaking of legends, I mean, how was that Gourmet Guru Grill with that Jealous Devil charcoal on that, man?
Hello.
Wow. Good flavor. Burning hot.
Dude, it smells so good down there.
Feel sorry for Beagle Bagel down there serving breakfast and we're cooking burgers. Everybody kept going to the bathroom looking out the door. What are you cooking out
The
there?
funniest thing is, so we've been doing food. We obviously last year we didn't get to do a lot, but the year prior we were doing food stuff twice a month. It felt like, and every time I'd walk down, the people at Beagle Bagel would be like, what are y'all cooking out there? What are y'all doing up there? When we had like 8 people grilling ribs out in the lobby, I thought Beagle Bagel was going to have an aneurysm.
I like that day because I got to eat a lot of good good ribs and
burnt ends and sausage. They had so much extra stuff there. Oh, ooh.
Who's getting in next? I mean, because I want to put like, a $500 cash winning
prize.
on it. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be brought to you by Jonesy Q.
What meat substance should we? What's the
maybe
tournament
he can
of choice?
help us frame something up and have a.
It has to be approachable enough that a normal person cooks it.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want Jeff can do 27 steps and it's all awesome. This is one of the best burgers, if not the best burger I've ever had in my life. I mean, I'm serious.
It's phenomenal.
It is so good. It's ridiculous. He nailed it. I mean, the elk, but then he mixed in some. Did you say 70-30?
I put a little 80-20 in.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but because I added the shaved butter. And use unsalted butter if you do that because you don't want to oversalt your meat.
Okay.
But I'm glad we had
Unsalted
breaking news because it was able to me to break this elk burger down.
Yeah, heard that.
Oh, man, it's so good.
Are we going to Memphis in May, by the way?
I'm going because I'm doing a show from his rig. But you're welcome to
Well,
come.
I'm going, so you may not get to do
I'll
a
pay
show.
for, well, we'll have to get, it depends on if Brazier will help us. We're kind of,
shorthanded.
we're down arms.
Speaking of which, if you want a job in radio,
if you want to learn how to run the board and do some really cool stuff in sports talk radio,
and occasionally get this burger,
hit us up on the text line 601-885-3776. Yes, if we can find someone to run the show, I'll pay for your hotel. You're not staying in my room.
The
I'll
Peabody?
pay for your hotel. I'm not paying for the Peabody. I may stay there. I'll put you at the Hilton right across from there.
Hey, it's fine with me.
It's right across from the Memphis, whatever they are, Redbirds.
Yeah, the Redbirds.
There's a no, it's a Hampton
Inn,
but it's under my Hilton Honors.
Hey, that's all right.
Yeah.
We can always get him a cot and he can sleep at the rig.
Heck yeah.
Well,
we need a guard dog.
He brags about this Eagle Scout stuff and how much he slept outside.
Brag is a large word.
And see, what I tell him is I stay in hotels, and here's what's amazing. A lot of times you can press like 2. Jeff, you can order a burger and a Heineken. It's amazing.
Or you can
bring
use
it to your door.
You can use an app now for that.
Right.
That's true.
Right. See, that's the kind of places that I like to stay. Press 2. I want a cheeseburger. It's not as good as yours, but I want a cheeseburger and a Heineken, and I'm good.
I'm not hating on that. That's good.
He's out there chasing roly-polies or something. I don't understand what's happening.
There's nothing
Well, that's
wrong.
what they did in the Girl Scouts. I mean, Boy Scouts. I bet he sold cookies too, didn't he?
Listen, I know.
Speaking of cookies,
I know
man,
your
where are the
hearing's.
girls at?
I know
Give me
your
some
hearing's gone with your age and everything, but you didn't hear no Girl Scouts.
Well, you know.
All right. You're an Eagle Scout. Yes, you're welcome to come to Memphis in May. I told Jeff I haven't been since
I've never been.
92 3 or something when I was 20 years old. And, and Memphis is a lot cooler now. They went and revitalized the downtown and so on. But, Jeff, how many times have you been there? And I'm taking another bite.
Like 6 times. We did it one backyard, then we moved into the Pro Series. So probably up 6 years. But it's going to be different this year. We're having to battle around COVID. They're limiting the teams this year. I think there's going to be right under 80 rib teams.
How many is there normally? Because this is
you
a large.
You can have about
contact.
150.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So it's going to be right under 80 ribs. I think under 40 shoulders, and then I think around 25 hogs. I mean, hogs is where it's at right now because there's nobody cooking them.
Whole hogs?
Whole hogs.
So not even half, like the whole thing.
And they typically, most of them cook 2. Wow. So 1 to build their blind box to turn in, and then the second one for on site.
What when you are doing a hog like that, do you have? So I've had the whole hogs cooked before, but they're done in like ground.
Now, like we have cookers.
They bury them in a pit.
You have cookers, so they'll have multiple cookers up there cooking whole hogs. It's fun. There's a lot of good teams out there. The world champions, most of the teams that win the world championship at Memphis May are either cooking a hog or a shoulder. Us rib guys, you're rolling the dice trying to get a world championship. I mean, there's a Mark West with Tim Bones out of North Mississippi. He won first place rib 3 years in a row, and didn't win the grand 3 years in a row. But a rib's got to come sooner or later. But you're eating a rib compared to 3 or 4 different options on the hog, and a couple different options on the shoulder. So it does limit you, but we have a good time, and we're going to have a good time this year. We've got a riverfront view like we always do.
You can go to Bass Pro Shop Pyramid.
Hey,
yeah, boy.
We're broadcasting from there.
The Bass Pro Shop Pyramid?
No, from his rig at Memphis.
Oh yeah, no, I know that'll be amazing.
I think on Thursday
morning.
Yes,
yeah. And we've got ancillaries that day to turn in, so we're going to cook and eat and talk and enjoy it and watch the tugboats go by.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I've never been able to do this with someone who's
actually competing
and see how you operate and so on.
You ever do tri-tip?
Not there as an ancillary. You've got to kind of get out of the box because even though I said you've got under 80, so you're going to have 150 teams there all together. And they're all going to be turning in an ancillary. So everyone's going to do chicken wings. Everyone's going to do beef. Everyone's going to do wild game. And so you've got you've got to really get fancy with your cooking. And typically we bring in a celebrity chef to help us. We've brought in Tom Ramsey.
Well, I'm here for you.
Yeah, 2 years ago. So we're, I think this year we're going to go solo and figure some things out. We're not bad cooks ourselves, so we'll turn some things in.
All right, I've got 40 seconds. Jeff Jones, award-winning rubs and seasoning. JonesyQ.com. Order $20 or more. Promo code OOB Show. Free shipping.
Yeah. Also, if you guys get out in Flowood this weekend, the Flowood Rotary Club's doing a fundraiser for the local schools for books, scholarships, the mustard seed, and they're doing a rib fundraiser. I think we're cooking 410 slabs of ribs at Table 100. So.
Jeff Jones in the house. We're about to smash this elk burger. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Jeff Jones, JonesyQ.com in the house. See you tomorrow.